Interesting, because Parker, we were speaking about you yesterday, actually, me and Bobby, and guys really like you. Guys really like you. They really, really like you, and they want to learn more about DeFi. We have made him a chat, a moderator. I don't know what you can do with that. Maybe you can do some polls, or you can manage your chats more. I don't really know what you can do. What can you do with that? What are we doing with you and me and moderator?
Little credibility in the chat. There's 2 Parkers in chat already. I'm the real one. All right.
Okay. So if anybody has any funny business to say, he will be in there, and he will be finding the best points. So what we were going to do is we have some points here we never got to talk about last time. We did say as well, Parker, if you don't mind me plugging the Discord for the GG indicator, do you mind?
Yeah, plug the link.
Okay. Isaac, if you can. We've already had guys in here. If you want to speak to me, Parker, and Bobby personally, okay, you can do that. Obviously, we do these streams. You can speak to us, but you can't actually speak to us. And we are giving you the GG indicator, which is this beautiful thing right here. And you can see, we did a trade yesterday, or Bobby did a trade on Bitcoin Cash, and he's up in profit. You can see this guy, the crypto expert. I think Bobby was a little bit salty. I don't know if you've seen this, Parker. Some guy came in here, and he's kind of out-competing Bobby in the in the trades. He messaged me low-key.
He actually sent me a text about that. He's like, yeah, this guy's telling me my trades aren't moving and this and that. Yeah, he's pressed.
I don't know who this is. This is like, who is this guy? The crypto expert.
I don't know, but that's my guy. That's the guy in my comments all the time. That's the one I was talking about. That's the crypto expert.
Really?
That's the guy whose name in YouTube is the YouTube expert. Yeah, remember, bro? He's always active on my channel. I love that guy.
So he's doing some crazy trades in here that are winning big time. Bobby's trade is now stop losses at entry, which is good. So guys, if you want to speak to us, plus get access to the GG indicator, which is this beautiful thing here, which Bobby called on Bitcoin Cash, Ram's favorite coin, you can do it for free. We do not sell you anything in this group. Just avoid some scammers in there. We will say that because there is fake Jake Gordon's already happening. We're working on that in the back end, Discord's new to me. I'm old school. Okay, I don't really understand Discord at all. We're trying to set up bots and everything, so there's no scammers in there. But just don't click bad links. Okay, there's always going to be, there was some guy the other day, airdrop live, and it was just pissing me off, and we blocked him. He came back in as a new member. Me and Bobby and Parker will never message you first. We'll reply, but we'll never DM you first. So just be careful of that, because this group is to help you guys, give you the GG indicator for free, but it's not for you to get rugged by some fake Jake, some fake Parker, and some fake Bobby, okay? So if you want that, it is in chat, and Parker, stop, please. Anyways, let's talk about DeFi, let's talk about trading, let's talk about the market. If anybody has any interesting questions, we can talk about that. We are back at 93K. What do you think about that, Parker? Well, I deal with some stuff on the back end, as you can probably see.
Back like nothing ever, like Bitcoin never left, guys. Definitely got a lot of emotional text the other day when Bitcoin went from 90 down to the lower 80s again. But, everyone was getting active, texting, the DMs were popping, and then we're back. So blink of an eye. If you can just zoom out, I was busy car shopping, and prices are all back. It's like nothing even happened.
Okay, can we make a conscious decision on this call? For you not to buy a car. In chat, should he not buy a car? He's looking at buying a $70,000 truck. And I think it's a bad idea because, number one, he could buy crypto, which will beat the depreciation of that truck. Number two, he could buy crypto and make 3 to 5x of that truck. So that 70K turns into 350K minimum value. Especially on Sui, it could turn into one day 700K. I'm not calling a Sui price prediction of $17. And number three, he's going to come to Thailand anyway, and that truck's going to sit there by himself. But the issue I have with US, Ram told me this and Ryan told me this, is you need a car. Here, you don't need a car.
Yeah.
In US, Ubers are so expensive, he said, like on the long term, you're kind of going to be effed. So I don't know how it works there. In the UK, we have the same problem, but, we just buy a beater, to be honest. I think that's the smartest choice for you. In 6 months.
Define beater.
A $20,000 car, $15,000 car, a $10,000 car, a used old car that's probably going to run you a long time. Because in 6 months' time, hopefully your Bill Run Bags, your DeFi portfolio, your YouTube community is going to be making that car per month. So I just think we always tell our guys with their DeFi portfolio, when they're starting a DeFi portfolio, not to cash out the USDC or the USDT to spend on lifestyle. Although I just bought a Lamborghini, so I'm kind of breaking the point here, but ignore that. I think it's about delaying gratification. You know, I'm not telling you to buy crypto right now. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But I'm just thinking a $70,000 truck when you're coming to Thailand, we're going to sell you and staying in Thailand for a lot longer. Okay, we've got a little mission here. We've already mapped out the game plan on our whiteboards. I just think that car's going to sit there, and then summer's going to come around. You're going to want a little sports car again. You're going to be swapping and buying. I don't know the depreciation of these cars. It probably holds the value pretty well. I think it was a 2020 or something, or 2022. So it's probably lost most of its value. But I just think buying a car right now at these prices, you know, it's having a little bit of risk/reward when you're 35, 45. You want to be telling your kids that you bought a car or you went all in on Sui.
Bought more Bitcoin. Yes, sir. There's some 2-year-old used Tesla performances with 0 to 60s at like 2 seconds still. So I might just get a little cheap, like 20-something grand Tesla.
Okay. Don't buy Teslas.
Like instead of the TRX.
Don't buy Teslas. They're boring, bro. You want something with a little bit of power. Okay.
You want a beater or not, man? Come on now.
I want you to buy maybe, I don't know what you have. We would have like a Vauxhall Insignia. But maybe you buy a Tesla, but I don't know how charging is in your country. In my country, it's not really that great because you kind of have to sit there charging it. You can fast charge, but in my area, you can't really have a Tesla where my mom and dad are from because they don't have any of that power slugs really anywhere. So like you kind of have to go away to charge it, and you just sit on your phone for a couple of hours. They've not got any fast charge in their area, but maybe in US it's a little bit better. But anyways, I don't think
it's a lot better out here. Depends on where you're at.
Yeah, let's move on. So Bitcoin's at 93K, Ethereum's at 3.2, Solana's at 144. Sui is back on that reversal. Everything's looking a little bit better. And the question we have that we spoke about with Bobby, what's kind of the next moves? So are you doing anything particular or just using DeFi right now?
Right now, just focused on cash flow. And that's one of the nice things about DeFi is that I literally don't have to watch those day-to-day swings where we swung down, you know, another 8%, and then we're back up X% today, the last couple of days. And so all that volatility, it's fine. If anything, it's just making me more money because with everyone freaking out and overselling and then overbuying, that's just more volume through my pools. So it's just making me more cash, literally. And I'm just buying more Bitcoin for essentially free.
Okay. And that's a good strategy. Because, again, we were speaking to a guy last night, shout out Neil, that joined. He had a 6-figure portfolio, and his kind of goal was to stack 3K per month, scale to 6K per month, and then scale to one day 10K per month. The good news is he had a solid blue chip portfolio where we pretty much put a plan in action where he could smash his 3-month goal pretty much immediately, although we take it very slow with these guys because, you know, this guy had no clue about DeFi. He had no clue about hot wallets, so we just kind of got his pace kind of set. And now he's in the position where he can make that 3 to 5K per month while really barely touching his portfolio in solid altcoins that he believes in. So again, we're not here to sell you in DeFi. Go and do it by yourself, like we always say, without buying any of our stuff. But you'll be surprised at these prices, how much damage you can do if you're cash poor. Because a lot of guys like me are crypto rich, but cash poor because, you know, we've already put most of our money in. But it's a nice way while we kind of chill on the sidelines, especially as prices come up a little bit more, where you can stack coins and all those free coins that you're stacking. Bitcoin has a recovery and all these altcoins have some sort of recovery. The dollar value today is worth a lot more dollar value down the line. So if you guys have questions that we can show you for absolute free, best pools. And Parker, if you can spot any as well, that'd be good.
Yeah, sure.
Have we already spoken about HBAR? I mean, what do you want to speak about HBAR, bro? Like HBAR is at 14 cents. It's still in profit for me on the weekly. It's down on a GG indicator. I do expect it to turn around eventually as the market and some of these altcoins start reacting to Bitcoin's price. But as far as HBAR compared to Bitcoin Cash, that was kind of the battle that we were having with Ram because one of my guys that lives in my apartment, he has Bitcoin Cash and we're miles away from him now. We overtook him about 6 months ago in market cap. But now we are we're 50% off his $11 to $12 billion market cap. So we're a long way away. We're now outside the top 20. Sui has overtook it as well, but Sui's had was Sui the top 10 coin ever this run? Must have been close, but obviously
it's been up there, just not right now.
Yeah, so it's like HBAR. Like now I'm battling with Parker. almost. So he is literally $200 million in market cap bigger, which is absolutely nothing. That's like a nothing percent swing on these coins up here because these market caps can move pretty much fast. So yeah, we're outside the top 20. My goals have remained the same in HBAR. A lot of guys are looking at starting HBAR pools. There's not really, in fact, there's only one right now, and it doesn't really make much sense because there's not enough TVL, but I do suspect one day there will be better HBAR pools, just like XRP pools. There wasn't really any on VFAT 6-7 months ago, but there's like 4 or 5 to 6 kind of good ones right now. And hopefully HBAR will give us some options with DeFi liquidity pools, because I would love to fucking put 1 million of my coins in there, but there's only like $6,000 in volume in one of them. So it kind of doesn't make much sense. So if you have questions about HBAR specifically, let me know. Always interested in your insights because you influenced me to buy 2 years ago. Well, you're probably up a lot in your portfolio, hopefully. Best thing I ever done. Congratulations. Just interested in perspective if it will head into all-time high regions within 3 months. It's a difficult question. That would take us to January, February, March. Okay, Q1, Q2 kind of entering. What do you think, Parker, before I give you that answer? Are we going to be back at all-time highs? Talk about Bitcoin first, and we can talk about altcoins.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of liquidations to the upside. So it's looking like maybe even a short-term move to the upper 90s. I wouldn't be surprised, but we do have some big liquidations down below 70. I'm going to open up this chart back up to take a peek. I'm not saying we need to go down there, but 60, mid 60s is always a risk. But right now it looks like upside of the short term.
Okay. But any prices you can give in 3 months, or too early to tell? I'll tell you what Bobby's really saying, and we spoke about this literally yesterday. Don't know what that noise is. But he was saying, again, $60,000 to $62,000 that we shared on school in our group here is potentially possible. 75K is kind of what?
That was a green. Okay.
75K is his kind of like level where he starts to has limit orders. Okay. No, so just on Bitcoin, altcoins are going to be in the toilet by then. And that's part of where you probably don't want to buy the truck, because that's where you're going to be able to get SUI. I don't want to say sub $1, but if Bitcoin went to 60 to 62K, which is his like bottom kind of levels, I mean, SUI for sure is going to be below $1, I would say. Pretty comfortably.
Don't wish that upon me.
I don't wish that upon you, but that's where you can make that car for free while still having the same SUI, you know, because that'll just bounce back so hard. You print the fucking truck for free, okay, and then you have the same SUI. So the truck, that's just what I see happening, bro. If that was to happen, that's how you can create that truck for free. Although it might not happen, it might just continuously go up, and then you just don't have a car. But you buy the beater, so you're absolutely fine. You can win both ways. But I just think 70K on a truck right now in the market, when we're at pivotal points, will be one of the stories you tell your kids, your mates down the line.
It'd be a regret story. Yeah.
I mean, a truck's cool, 700 horsepower. It's more than my Urus. But, you know, I'd rather you get more crypto, to be honest.
It was a TRX, boys. It's kind of a badass truck. But we'll see. We'll see.
So my perspective in 3 months, go on.
Yeah, potential for those mid 60s, I would agree, just based off the liquidation data. But there is just a lot stacking to the upside. That's even going towards, if we're talking about new all-time highs in the future, lots of talk about the extended bull run, stuff like that, if, 5-year cycle this time. I mean, that's going up to the 130s to 140s, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that over the next year.
Somebody says he has 1,237 Bitcoin from years ago. Should I activate the wallet? Don't want to get arrested. Bro, if you have over 1,000 Bitcoin,
just start bridging that shit out of there if you got it.
If you have over 1,000, I know a guy that can help you. Okay, I know a guy. Okay. That's crazy. So yeah, my thing is, man, is if we do get that recovery, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of guys are saying, 4-year cycle wasn't supposed to be, and we do extend to Q1, Q2, but it's going to be the same story if we're kind of at the same level in Q1, Q2, 26, where they'll just probably change it to Q3 and Q4, and that's fine. You can change your mind, but we just do not know at this time. And what's given me a little bit of confidence is Bitcoin is holding the 90K kind of respectively. We have came below it, 87, 86. I think we were on a stream one day when I had the first line was 90K and we were at 87. we had to kind of revamp the stream. But you know, we're a long way away from 60, and if we do come down to 60, it'll be scary for some new guys out there. It'll be portfolios really in the effing toilet, especially if you're altcoin heavy. But I mean, those are the times where you make those kind of generational wealth. If you can be smart, be sensible about it, and you might just buy Bitcoin and be okay with it going down even more, because you know eventually Bitcoin's 60K isn't its peak. You know it's going to come back, so you can play it a lot more safe. So, me personally, we're in pools, we're doing nothing. We've started a little Discord where we're doing some trades, and that's really all we're doing right now. T-Rex is betting the Raptor.
That's the nice thing, though, is we're kind of positioned to where, you know, whatever does happen next, we'll be able to do something about it. If the market dips, we can buy the dip. We have funds on the side. I know I have stablecoins stacked up. We have pools that will still be printing money down low. And if the market goes up, we have tons of exposure to the market right now. So we're going to milk money on that too, and then keep printing fees as well that we can stack as stablecoins for the next dip. So whatever happens next, you can find TA to support whatever thesis you think is going to happen. Like, let's be honest. But whatever happens next, I'm prepared. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay, guys.
Okay, so I do have his notes because we didn't get them last week, and he was pressing me about let's do my video idea. So we will dive into your video idea. We're not going to be able to finish it all. There's a lot of points.
Just skip around.
We'll skip around, but the first section that he wrote is going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, it's going to piss a lot of, because again, I was a diehard hodler for 3 years, which is fine. You know, you can make money being a hodler. The issue is, I'll give you a quick story. One of my friends, Dean, he came out to Thailand recently. He's going to come back with you, Parker, as well, hopefully. You'll see him. He is a big crypto believer. And the issue with Dean, and it's not an issue, it's just his personal thing, right? Is he is crypto rich. He's got, you know, over 6 figures, so he's crypto rich, I would say, doing pretty well. But the issue he has being a hodler was the Q4 2025 bull run, cash out, kind of chill out a little bit in Thailand while he figures out some sort of income, right? And you wrote the harsh reality about hodling investing, which is funny for him because now he's having the harsh reality of like, okay, well, I haven't been able to take profits where I thought these altcoins would go. And he's in solid altcoins like XRP, HBAR, some Solana, some SUI. And obviously he thought we were going to go a lot higher like a lot of us did, right? So his harsh reality is he can't sell he could sell, but he's not prepared to sell at the prices where he think they're worth, if that makes sense, in the next couple of months. He wished he would have sold at 125 and rebought while kept a little bit more, but he's trying to buy himself time while he figures out the income kind of stuff. So he literally cannot come to Thailand. He can, but it's not safe enough where he has the income to kind of like survive long term. And his whole goal was like at least a 300K portfolio, I think. Don't quote me on that, but around about that. And that can buy him many years. Many years, and if he's smart, potentially forever, especially in Thailand. Obviously, his goal is to do more in life, not sit on a beach all day. But that's his harsh reality because he's kind of stuck. Because he doesn't want to sell his crypto, but he also still wants to come out here. So, your point, the harsher truth about hodling, you wrote, why relying on price appreciation is the slowest path to financial freedom. Can you explain that?
I just mean it's not going to give you the freedom you're looking for. It's like when, like, let's say your friend wants to come to Thailand, right? It's like he really needs the market to do specific things to be able to live that vacation or live that lifestyle that he wants. Whereas me, or people that are focused a little more on cash flow, whether that's online business or running DeFi, whatever that may be, the cash flow is what actually gets you the freedom, where day to day it's printing money and I can use that for whatever I need in my daily life or to reinvest. Whereas if not, I mean, there's going to be wide swings in the market and volatility, and it puts so much more stress on you. You need the market to do something, whereas I don't need the market to go up or down right now. If we chop and do the last 3 days just over and over, random directions, I'll just keep making money and nothing's going to change for me, but just easy cash flow.
Okay. If your portfolio doesn't pay you monthly, you don't own a portfolio, you own a liability. Now, I have to stop you there, okay? Because I'm on chat side, okay? I'm pretending I'm a hodler and I don't see this other side, if it's trading, if it's DeFi. Because last time I checked, Michael Saylor and all these guys just said to buy Bitcoin and do nothing. And you're telling me if it doesn't pay me monthly, which Michael Saylor would disagree with you 100%, but what Michael Saylor doesn't realize, or he does realize, but he forgets to put himself in perspective for normies like us and even lesser normies. And again, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Let's just, the game is money in cryptocurrency. And, he's a billionaire. Okay. For him, he can do what he wants, right? But for a normie, he's been told to just buy Bitcoin and do nothing. And you're coming in there and saying, again, I'm on your side, by the way, I'm just trying to explain it to some guys. How is that making me a liability? Because I've just been told to just buy Bitcoin, buy the S&P, buy whatever, and just do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the key there is just that, like you said, the normal person. It puts so much more emotional stress on most people, especially with specifically crypto. And, maybe Bitcoin you truly believe in differently, so it's going to affect you a little differently. Like that one you could hold forever. But even then it puts, you become the liability, really, because you get so emotional and you'll make mistakes. You're either buying the top and you're selling the bottom, or you're just, at the end of the day, some of these other cryptos we own, they actually have inflation on them too, and people don't realize. So if you're not monetizing those, you're actually slowly getting drained as well, and you don't even realize it. Stuff like even just Solana, which is one of the top market cap coins with a high inflation rate, and people just don't realize this.
Mm-hmm. So I agree. Don't get me wrong, because I've seen the other side. But there's two sides to that story. You can do nothing, buy solid coins, and you probably will make money. But the issue is, when I speak about Dean there, and there's a lot of guys in Dean's situation, maybe you might be one there at home, it's like now you're just kind of sitting there and you're kind of being held hostage by your portfolio. Or maybe your goal was to quit the job this run, or maybe to reduce your hours. I know a lot of people want to be that financially free, that laptop lifestyle. But right now you're kind of a slave to your portfolio because you don't want to sell. You know it's going to be worth more one day, but you still have to work the job because you still have bills to pay, right? Like a normal person like us. So you're kind of in that squeeze edge there where it's like, okay, what do you do? And there's not much options bar from, using liquidity pools, trading if you can handle it, to get income, or you have to work more hours, which goes against what you wanted to do because you wanted to work less hours. So, I get Michael Saylor's point. I get all these guys' big boy point, but they're in a different league than us. So it doesn't really apply to us. His advice is sound: buy Bitcoin, do nothing, but he doesn't need an income because he has a business called MicroStrategy that probably makes hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. I don't know the exact numbers. So that's the kind of issue there. Now, if you like your job and you're just doing that for this on the site, absolutely. You don't have to do DeFi, you don't have to trade, whatever. But if you don't, you're sitting there being held hostage, which is fine if you can hold on. But I know a lot of guys that we speak to want to quit. That's basically the same thing when they join our DeFi 10K fast track. Number one on the list is always, I want to fucking quit my job, or I want to reduce my hours, and I want to be free. And that's why I started crypto, and that's probably what, you started crypto as well, and that's why you're making the first trip out to Thailand, because you're kind of at
the best part about it is just like these guys that join our community, right? On that top 3 list of goals, freedom's always in there, like you're saying, right?
It's always there.
And so what it does is the cash flow off the portfolio or online business, whatever it may be, but specifically DeFi, it gives you that certainty and that actual freedom to where maybe it is just working a job you like. Where like I can still go bartend on the weekends and make a bag because it's fun. I'm not worried about how much money I'm making there, as I'm also making money through crypto. Or, I don't need Bitcoin to hit 250K in the next year because I'm still making money off my crypto either way. It takes all that burden of performance away, and it actually gives you freedom and options, and it gives you an actual, like, you can make different moves. You're not stuck in one lane needing price to only go up. I don't care which candle happens which day. I'm making money every single day.
Okay. But you did lose your car working at that job.
It did get stolen, but that's different.
I just, sometimes we have to shut down Parker a little bit. Did they find it? Yeah. Is it GG? Gone forever? No chance?
So I had to do all the recorded statements today with insurance, and supposedly it can take up to 45 days till they conclude their search. It shouldn't take that long. But I mean, I would imagine it's getting scrapped for parts or, in a different state by now. So I don't know. I don't want it back at this point,
Imagine if it was the crypto expert or the YouTube expert. He's been following you for so long and he just found out. I'm just saying.
Supposedly there was multiple vehicles stolen, so unless it was a group hit, like I wouldn't imagine. But that question did cross my mind, where it's like, was this targeted?
Okay,
$1.99 for the new car.
Well, unfortunately for him, all that money goes to me, and he can for sure not going to get that $1.99. So thank you very much, Nico. I will be sure to use that for 1 mile in my car when I get home. So thank you very much. He gets absolutely nothing of this. So, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. Sorry, son. But yeah, there we go. There we go.
I'm excited for what's next, though, right? Because who knows? Like we talked about, staying positive. Like, if you believe in, God and whatnot, maybe he's looking out for me in like a crash in the snow with the Corvette or something, right? Or maybe this just makes the trip to Thailand even easier. Is not worried about X, Y, Z. So.
All right, before we come back to your
We'll
points,
just have to see what's
we have
next.
some interesting points. What website can I do DeFi and earn crypto? And again, we'll not gatekeep you here, guys. We'll give you absolutely everything for free, so you can go and get results. And maybe one day you come back to us to scale, right? But we don't gatekeep anything when we show you what to do. So, what websites can we do? We typically start with VFAT, Orica, and Turbo Finance. Would you say this covers kind of like everybody's portfolio most of the time?
I'd say a good 90% of it.
Yeah.
95.
These are platforms we trust, we've vetted, we've pretty much used for years. And if you have other coins outside of this, there will be other platforms. But for us being here for 6 hours straight, these are kind of the main platforms that we use. Now, Turbo Finance would be for your SUI kind of ecosystem coins. Orica would be, guess what, for your Solana ecosystem coins. Everything else is pretty much going to be on VFAT. And we always tell our guys, like we told the guy last night that joined, VFAT is going to be his best friend, okay? So these are platforms that we recommend using. We vetted. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of TVL in here and works 24/7. You just need to, and this is not what we do, you need to find what coins you like, what you already believe in, and then you just start shopping, as you would say, right? You start coming in here. What are we looking for? What coins do we hold? And you go from there. So, example, any coin that you would like. I know he's not going to reply in time by the time I see this, but what's a coin that most people have? Could be.
Just give us one of those black hole pools. Not with black, but like one of the ones over there on Avalanche.
I mean, what was our one we did last night? It was like Link. Link with USDC. So I'll just show you this one real quick. This is a crazy one. So a guy had Link, which is Chainlink.
Actually pretty damn good.
No, it is pretty good. I'll explain how good this is. It's not the best, but because again, I prefer asset to asset, and there's a reason behind that. But again, there's nothing wrong with Link USDC. And basically, if I had Link USDC and I did want to monetize this, I would just look at this pool as an example. Of course, there's many more. You want to come out and vet them, but this was one of the ones that he was interested in. Currently, right now, 397%. Width, I would stretch this out. Okay, so all I'm doing here is we're just playing with this right now. We're not actually looking at setting up a pool, but just to kind of show you on a super wide range, which Parker, I'm sure you'll agree with, 68%, 112% APY per year, which is maths, 10% per month. There's a pool that I would look at if I was looking at Link and USDC. Parker, that keyboard is way too loud. I don't know what you're using, but you're smashing my earlobes. 70% wide pool, paying you 10% per month. If you have Link and USDC, I would probably suggest do that. Non-financial advice, but that was one of the pools he was interested in. He had Link, he had USDC. And we put him on a little test with $100 each way, and he'll keep us posted how that works. So, again, VFAT, look at your coins that you have, see if the yield makes sense, and then you go from there. So hopefully that answers your questions. Again, there's many other ways you can scale this. Asset to asset could be good, so it might be Link against something else, Bitcoin against AVAX, not USDC, Ethereum against, I don't know, BTC, Ethereum against XRP. There's many other ones you can do. No KYC, just connect your wallet. Or you're getting docs just kind of roll. So yeah, other complicated stuff that you will need to understand is obviously Rabi wallet. And I know this is probably getting too confusing for some people. Rabi wallet for VFAT, which is basically like a better version of MetaMask. If you've never had a Rabi wallet, just make sure your seed phrase, etc., is all set up. But that's a YouTube video away. But that's how you would get started with DeFi. And we suggest coming here with 50, 100 bucks, start a pool, see how you like it, and then you scale from there. And that takes you out of Parker's point, which will be a hodl investor. We're not telling you to put everything in a pool. We're just telling you, hey, muck around with $1,000, muck around with $500, see how you like it, and you will have more coins than you have today, and that's the goal. Any thoughts on that?
I'm texting back in chat. They're asking, how can pools print the fees for a truck?
Okay, we'll do the maths. Now, it's a big truck he wants to buy. Not in terms of physicality, in terms of price. $70,000 roughly. Parker?
Yeah, it was like 74.
Okay, $70,000 his truck was. So how can pools... What was the question? How can pools print the truck and fees? How?
Yeah, let's just even do something simpler. Just pick a random number per month. Like, let's say $1,000 a month.
Okay. How much portfolio? You would just do the maths. In this example, with the 10K portfolio, if you're making 10% per month, you're making 1K per month. Now, if Link goes up and down, we don't really care. We kind of care. And believe it or not, I would like my coins to go down a little bit longer because I get to acquire more Link in this example. And it's even better if I have asset to asset. If I can stay in range and the assets are going down, well, I get more Link. And let's just pretend we did a Link and Ethereum one just for an example, right? And I get more Ethereum. If I believe they're going to go up...
Not on screen, by the way, Jake. He's not showing it.
Isaac, come on, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. We need a new Isaac, bro. We need a new Isaac. He's always... I make him do press-ups before this. I give him some nicotine. He doesn't want caffeine. And he still is not locked in. If you have Link and Ethereum and you have a 10K portfolio in this example, I know this is Link USDC, but I can't be bothered changing it, and you're making 10% per month, well, you've hit your goal of $1,000 per month. Okay? But if you're trying to do 70K per month, you're going to need a big fucking portfolio in that example at 10% per month. You would need how much? 700K. Most guys don't have 700K. If you do, great. You can print a truck every single month, plus compounding it. You can get the truck and insurance by month too. But you start slow and you build up. You start slow and you build up. We've got guys with 20K, 30K portfolios that are hitting 2 to 3K per month. We've got guys like Grant, your mate, that has over $1 million portfolio, and he can play it safe and he can make 40 to 60K, believe it or not, per month, because it's just a numbers game. It's just a math game. So that's how you print a truck per month. You need 700K on a 10% pill. If you don't have 700K...
I've got a bunch of old Link laying around. I might have to start doing something.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than doing nothing and watching it go down in your hollow bag. What are you doing? You're the DeFi expert. There's a pool here paying you 10% per month with a fucking wide range.
I know. That Link's sitting in my original Tracer I bought, and I just haven't ever moved it.
The DeFi god is not maximizing his DeFi yield. We all get lazy. But, you know, and a lot of you guys at home, not that you should do this, we're not telling you to do this, but, you know, DeFi is becoming the new kind of norm, because when he taught me, basically how DeFi started with me was, he was one of my old community members when I used to sell a group, but we were just talking about price predictions. I didn't want to do trading because I'm not here to sell you something I don't do. That's why when we have our indicator for our free Discord, I don't teach you trading. Bobby teaches you trading because he's a trader. He basically told us about DeFi, and nobody fucking cared. Nobody listened until 1 month he did like 9 to 10K per month, and then all of our little ears perked up. And we were pretty much on board, and that's when we changed our product to a DeFi pool, and that's why we have more than 123 members right now, following my guidance, but basically teaching what he taught me, and that's how we created this ecosystem. But again, get your feet wet first. Don't buy our product, and I'll be the only one to tell you that. You should not buy our product unless you've done this for yourself and you're happy with it. And then if you want to scale it, come to us. But make some bags by yourself, man. If your goal is at 1K per month on a 10% pool, you need $10,000. It's better than doing nothing. If it's in coins you believe in.
What's the range for? If it drops 34%, you lose all your money? Dun, dun, dun.
You're sold in USDC, or you're sold in Link. So in this example, you'd be sold in Link, which guess what? You had Link.
Isaac, get that shit back on the screen, brother.
Yeah, so the risk is here. The risk is your underlying asset. Okay? So if you had, I want to take this back to Ethereum Link. It's a lot easier to explain. But if you had, well, we can just do this, Link USDC. So if Link did go down to, what's that, $10.51, currently right now it's at $14.78. So if Link did go to $10, which it could do, and it probably will if Bitcoin goes to 60K, well, okay, your pool's not in range, but you're just holding more Link. So is it really a risk because you already had Link anyways? I would argue no. But in between that, as the market does its thing, as we go up, as we go down, you're getting more Link. So I don't see a risk, and I don't see a problem with people using assets they already have. The risk I have, and we've had this happen in our group, where people join, and then they buy shit coins because they're trying to make 100, 1,000% per month, and they completely change their main portfolio to a shitcoin portfolio, and it can work, but they've completely lost the plot. Okay? You want to use assets you already have. You want to make money on assets you have. You want more assets that you have that you believe in for the next bull run of Q1, Q2, 26, whenever that happens. And then you can't really lose. because you're in assets, you're in coins you already had, and you would have already had them being a hodl investor. And that goes back to his first point, is getting out the mindset of being a liability with your hodl backs. So.
Yep. And then what's cool too is like Chainlink, for example, it hasn't went below that about $10 mark outside of like 2 daily wicks where it's just a wick down and back up. It hasn't left that bottom since November, October of 2023. So this range has been respected for so freaking long. Imagine the last 2 years you've been making 10% a month off how much Chainlink you've had, right? Like that's crazy. And your downside risk is Chainlink, which you already own if you're talking about Chainlink, most likely.
And you can see there the yields just went up an extra like 20% because this is real money, right? This is real fees. So let's say you didn't like the fact, this is the last thing I'll say on this pill. If you didn't like the $10.51, well, guess what? Okay, well, I can make this $9.14. I can even stretch this up. Okay, so if I believe $9 is the bottom for Link, even though there's nothing wrong with coming out of range here, but if you had Link anyways, well, I can just make the width wider and get less APR. And again, we're still making 9% per month. But let's just say, okay, I just really thought Link could potentially go down to $7.49. Well, I can get full control. I decide where it's going to go. Because chances are, if you have Link right now at 14.78, you probably don't think it's going to go to 7.48. And if you did, you'd probably sell it and buy something else. So you can decide how wide you want to go and how safe you want to be. And you can really stretch this boy out. Now we're at 150%.
Drag that bottom back up to 10. I want to see that bottom at 10 and the top at 25. Curious.
What?
Make the bottom 10 instead of the 7 there. Yeah, we're giving too much alpha away right now. I'll play it.
What you want to top up?
Bring the top down to 25. This would be like the perfect range. This is like what I'd run. I'm giving so much sauce right now. Make that 25.
It is.
And
basically.
Sorry, it's a delay for me. Dude, you're still cranking about 10% a month on basically the last 2 years of price history for Chainlink is insane. So, like, yeah, I would do this.
Yeah. I smoke cannabis and then run like 20 crypto rigs and make a bunch of money. Nice. It's random. Good for you. Your brain's probably
Solar clean BTC, like it, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have cheap energy, yeah.
Yeah. There's many ways to play this. I'm not interested in dollar value, although the question there was about getting that 70k per truck. For me, at this stage in my journey, I'm interested in how many coins can I get and just delaying that gratification. I want as many coins as possible that I like. Okay, because the guys out there was a comment before at the start of the stream that had 1,000 plus Bitcoin. He doesn't have 1,000 Bitcoin, but let's just pretend he did. The goal is obviously more Bitcoin. The goal was more Ethereum. The goal is more Solana if you have that. Because eventually we all know, and we always say this, Parker, gun to your head, is Bitcoin going to be worth $1 million one day? Yes. Okay, well, how can we get more Bitcoin at today's prices if we're cash poor and crypto rich? Or crypto 50K, 30K, 20K, it doesn't even matter. If you can get more Bitcoin right now, you shouldn't worry about Bitcoin's price tomorrow. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it's like Andres just joined, right? And so we were helping him out, coaching him, do his onboarding call. And his main goal above everything else is just get more Bitcoin, right? So we've literally just taught him how to borrow against his Bitcoin, plug that into DeFi, and use everything just to flywheel back more and more Bitcoin. And his objective is just to stack as much Bitcoin as aggressively as possible. Comment here, all I hear and feel with DeFi is it is dangerous. Already taking a beating, can't put myself out there for more. I found the biggest risk is the assets you're choosing. The most money I've lost in this game has been literally from just picking bad shit or chasing APRs, and I'm picking an asset or stuff like even like Alex Becker's black hole token that came out. Oh, I had $8,000 turned into $2,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like those the biggest losses have been assets. If you're choosing quality assets and you're staying responsible and keeping that long-term vision, you'll be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah. Make the range wider, you make less. Yeah, it all comes down to being responsible with these pills. You don't want to be coming in here with a 2% wide range, thinking you're going to make 600 to 1,000% APY. For how long, bro? For how long? The goal for us is to keep these real estate properties, as I like to call them, to explain them to somebody else that hasn't heard of this. We want a tenant in there all the time. We want somebody in there doing the work for us while we sleep, making us more Link and USDC in this example. If we lose our tenant, again, it's not the end all be all. We don't have to go and fix the property. We don't have to find a new property manager. We don't have to go and list the property again on Zillow or Rightmove and us in the UK. We adjust accordingly if that ever happens, and most of the time you will come back in range, and most of the time you're in assets you already like, so there's not an issue. Okay, there's not an issue if you're sold to more Link, if you had Link anyways in this example. So is it dangerous? Well, I mean, anything is dangerous. Coming out of your job and losing your car is dangerous. Coming out in the UK and seeing a guy with a big knife is dangerous. Everything's danger, but no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. So everything's dangerous. Me leaving this podcast studio and me getting hit by a Grab driver at 100 miles per hour, it's GG. But what else am I going to do? Sit in the house and do nothing? I don't know, but I don't want that lifestyle. Right. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Anyways, let's move on because we don't have long left. We smashed through time here with you, Parker. I don't know how. Cash flow makes you anti-fragile. We skipped a lot of points here. You stop relying on luck and cycles. You can buy dips with house money. You can acquire more Bitcoin, Ethereum. I like how you put SUI there. Why is SUI there? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and SUI. You just miss most other altcoins.
Gotta rep the gang, man.
Okay, rep the gang. Without working extra hours. Cash flow turns you from a spectator into an operator. Any words on cash flow makes you anti-fragile.
It's just all the same thing, right? Like if you look back at that pool we just had, we just showed you a pool that's covered the last 2 years of price action. If you had that open for the last 2 years and you were making 10% a month, let's just say it stayed at that 10%, didn't go up or down. Would you be that stressed if Chainlink moves down 20% a month? Like, no, you're not really going to give that many fucks. Like, let's be so for real, guys. And then so it's just all about that long-term vision and longevity. I've seen it in action from Arrow going from $2 down to 30 cents and back up, being in pools that whole time. And I've seen that just being consistent and zooming out, it's going to work out okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, so here's the Jeffrey kind of drawings that we gave to that guy last night. His name's Neil. We're not going to dox him, right? So basically, this was his kind of initial portfolio that he, and this ties into section 6, my framework for becoming a cash flow investor. Again, we'll give you all this for free. We hope you fucking appreciate this. He had about $110,000 that he wanted to play with. He has more than this, but these were kind of his main 67 to 8 kind of coins. He had about 20 coins, which is a little bit too much in my opinion. But those were other coins that were really below the $2,000 mark, and that's something we're going to touch on him long term down the line, right? But these were his kind of main bags, okay? And his goals, there's maybe too much information here. It's too late. I've already shared it. Basically, he wanted to make 3K per month in his first 3 months. He then wanted to make, by June 2026, 5K per month. And this is why we're going to tie this back to your point here, section 6, on having goals, okay? And by the end of December, in 1 year time, pretty much from now, he wants to be at 10K per month. And we basically built him a framework. And what I liked about him was he was realistic because he was looking to play with $110,000. Again, we were going to scale this very, very slowly when he first started out, get proof of concept, see the money come in, see the coins come in, and then you scale it from there. What was nice about this client in particular was his goals were so fucking realistic, but we didn't want to build him so much hopium because looking at the pool we just looked at there, with his portfolio, if we were doing 10% per month in that super wide range, I know that was only one coin, but just for an example's sake, well, he's already smashed next year's goal by doing nothing, which was nice. And it makes it a lot easier for us because his first goal was $3,000 in the next 3 months' time. So what we did say was, again, this is a really bad drawing, sorry guys. If you have an initial pool, okay, and this goes back to your point, knowing your numbers, how much income you actually need. So we've already ticked that box. This is how much income he was looking for, $3,000 in the next 3 months. So that was step number 1. Step number 2 was building the base, e.g. just looking at coins that he had, and then we were adding active strategies. So let's just say he had that Link and USDC pool, right? Again, it's not the best pool I would like because, again, I prefer asset to asset. But this was his kind of main initial bag, for example. Let's just say he put $30,000 in here. Not that he would, not that he should, because he's at level 1 right now, but down the line, let's just say he did want to do that. Well, if you do the maths in that pool, on that super wide range, it was actually more than 10%, but if we stretched it so effing wide, well, he's already made 3K per month in his first month. Okay, and I like clients like that, and you like clients like that, Parker, because it just makes our job so easy, because we just pull up VFAT, we find one of his pools that he already holds, and he clicks a button, and he's good to go. There's more behind the scenes, of course, like getting wallets, doing it safely, understanding how to operate on VFAT and DeFi, setting up a Rabby wallet if it's your first time with your seed phrase, etc., keeping all that safe. But ignoring all that, that would be one of his first options. Option number 2 is he wanted to get a little bit more crazier. He could use this $3,000 in his first month to then go and start another pool if he wanted to. Okay, that could be, I don't know, an Ethereum XRP pool. Okay, So he has now two pools in this example, printing more coins and more dollar value if you want to count it that way. Because a lot of guys do want to count the dollar value, not the coins, which I get, right? Because most guys, e.g. him, is trying to get that 5K per month, which is pretty much what he makes in his 9-to-5 job. Option number 3, last thing I will say, is he could obviously sell that for cash. Again, I don't recommend doing that right now, okay? But if you did want to do that, you could take those Ethereum and USDC or the Ethereum XRP and sell it for cash every single month, every single day if you wanted to. But again, at these prices, I wouldn't be recommending that, but you can do what you want. Or option number 4 is you could just buy Bitcoin, okay? Which is probably a good strategy, to be honest. Anything you want to add in that, Parker?
No, looks good.
Okay, nice. The real problem with most investors, so hopefully that makes sense, guys. Again, we're not telling you to do this, but we're pretty much trying to give you everything you would need if you were to buy our product and go and do it yourself. Because I feel like if I can do that, if he can do that, we're doing you a service. What's the problem with most investors? They only think in terms of number go up. They never build any skills, only buy coins. They don't treat crypto like a business.
Yeah, another way to look at this is like, okay, imagine you're an investor, right? Like, think real estate. You long term, you're trying to get as many doors as possible, right? You're trying to get all these doors, put tenants in them, this and that. It's like a lot of people are thinking about their dollar amount of the portfolio, but they're not thinking about how many doors and how they're scaling their cash flow. It's just a different way to look at it, right? Where you're focusing on the money in and how much more Bitcoin, et cetera, that you're buying. Like, for example, I'm not going to, you know the guy I work with one-on-one in the group all the time, over $1 million portfolio. It's from the last couple months.
So many fucking times, bro.
Okay, so for example, we track a lot of stuff on his spreadsheet, and then basically from a couple months ago till now, the market's come down significantly, and he's just a little bit below like the current portfolio value, but he has literally like 3 more Bitcoin than he had a couple months ago. Like, he has more Bitcoin from the cash flow, even though the dollar value's down. So if the market then goes back to, let's say, 125 all-time high again, he has so much more money in terms of dollar value. But it's because he focused on that Bitcoin accumulation and used pools just to get more and more and more.
Nice.
Does that make sense? Or I sound like a fucking retard?
language. That makes sense, because that's what we do if you did want to come up with a way in a hodl mentality. And again, hodl mentality is great. We're not 100% in with our hodl bags. Absolutely not. We're enough where we hit our monthly goals, where we can make more in our job if you are in your job, and if you have the portfolio to do that. I'm not telling you to quit your job. Keep the job, but you can come to that job with a different swagger if you're making that job an income from your portfolio. I just remember me back in my sales job in Exercise Bless when I used to sell gym memberships. I was so scared about getting fired, but I was also so scared about picking up the phone and trying to sell memberships for like £20 a month, because I knew they weren't going to buy. I knew they weren't going to be interested, but I had my boss behind me breathing on my neck. And every day I was wondering if it was going to be on the last day. But if I was making that 2 to 3K per month in crypto off my active and passive portfolio, I would kind of not really care that much. I would still want to keep the job, because instead of making 3K per month, I want to make 6K per month, where I could take that 3K per month, spend my bills. Good thing back then, my bills were pretty much zero, to also buy crypto. But I wouldn't really care or be as scared back then if my portfolio was giving me that income, because worst case scenario, I was good. So, guys that are in their job, that are maybe in a tough sales job or whatever you guys are doing, you can kind of be a little bit more relaxed if you have a big enough portfolio that covers your goals and your job per month, where you can kind of, I'm not telling you to take the ease off the brakes here or take the gas off the brakes. You still keep working hard, but your mentality can just kind of change when you wake up. Because I used to hate waking up, going to that job every single day at 7 a.m.
You're not doing it out of a place of survival, which I think changes the game a lot.
Okay. Anything else you want to make on that? Or does anybody have any questions on DeFi pools? Again, if you want, we have the free Discord, which a lot of guys are joining right now, which is free. We also have Parker's YouTube channel. Shout out to him. Parker Ray Crypto, I believe it's called, right?
Should pull it up.
Okay, we'll pull it up. Parker Ray Crypto.
Yeah, take a last look at the Corvette videos, because there won't be any fucking more. I have like 3 scheduled. There's a couple scheduled through December. Then it's done. It's game over.
You know what's funny? Everybody probably thought that you were renting this Corvette because it just disappears.
I could technically go grab the title and bill of sale right now, but I'm not gonna dox everything.
I mean, you might as well. So Parker Ray's channel,
But,
if you want to learn more about DeFi, if you want to book a call through him, if you want to take the next step, or if you want to use my link, you can do that as well. But worst case scenario, getting here for free, me, Parker, and Bobby here. You can DM Parker. Make sure it's the right Parker. Don't DM a fake Parker. We can already see guys joining, which is good. You can DM Bobby if it's about trades. Again, we've just started this group. So this is just, we're building this out in real time as we speak. We've already got guys doing trades, like your mate, the crypto expert, the YouTube expert. He seems like a cool guy. And we've got Bobby just did a long there last night on Bitcoin Cash, which looks to be his stop loss is now at break even, so he can't lose that trade, which is good. So again, we are here to take you in every aspect of cryptocurrency. Parker for DeFi, me for kind of hodl mindset, and Bobby here for trades. So again, this will be your first step if you do want to join a completely free group and get access to that GG indicator and speak to me and Parker or Bobby if you have questions. You can do that. So we have, I think, how many members have we got? We have 129. Bobby wanted to cap this at 200. I might not. So if you guys want to get in here, you can. But yeah, it's a completely free group. You don't have to do anything, but just, we are building this out in real time. So just keep that in mind. Any last thoughts? We're coming up to closing time here.
Nothing from me. Chat looks pretty happy.
Who is Crypto Pricer 2850?
Answered.
He needs a timeout. We need to put him in the naughty step.
I thought about it. Every sentence he was typing it. But there's actually people like shilling like spam tokens. I was timing on all those dudes.
Yeah, you will get that. You will get that. Yeah, I can't even check the chat because Crypto Pricer 2850 is just fucking going crazy. If anybody has, we're going to stay in here for 2 more minutes. If anybody has any questions about DeFi, about any coins, about anything in particular, we'll stay here for 2 more minutes. But hopefully we've gave you some free advice here on DeFi pools. I think I've pretty much shown you everything I would teach guys that buy our product. Of course, the difference is we can't hand hold you, unlike our group, but you know, do it yourself. Get some feedback. Look at your coins. Come on VFAT. Come on Orica. Come on Turbo Finance. Play around with it. And you'll be surprised how nice it is to not only be a hodler when you get down this kind of rabbit hole.
And just do it small. It's a skill, right? Learn the skill, learn it small. And if you can play with $100 and be making 10% a month, you know you can scale it and run it like a business. So just get your feet wet. Run it like a little video game. Just play it and figure it out. And once you start making money, scale it.
All right. GG. Parker, I'll see you in an hour or something for that call. And
see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, guys. We'll see you back on Monday, my time, Sunday, his time.